If you have a feminine woman or a man or whatever, a feminine energy wants a masculine energy. That's what it means when we say opposites attract. It's not talking about personality traits. It's talking about energy. So if you present yourself as masculine, but as you get comfortable, you start to fall back more into your feminine, or vice versa. If she presents herself as feminine, but over time she starts to fall back into her masculine, or vice versa, whatever that looks like, there's no polarization. So now there's no desire to be sexual, because sex is a desire. It's not an obligation. It's not something I have to do. It's something I get to do with my partner when I'm attracted to you, right? And so I feel like oftentimes in marriage, the polarization starts to get a little bit off. The trust and the respect might get a little bit eroded. But I think that's why it's really important to be intentional about how you're still dating your husband or wife. Like, still go on dates, still get sexy, get the lingerie, pull out the negligees, make the dinner and the aprons. Like, literally all of those different things still matter when you're married. What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of It's Giving. I am your host, Sarah Fontenot, and if you have not yet, please hit that button below so you can get subscribed. Hit that little bell so you get a notification with each new piece of content. Now, today, you guys already know you have completely shifted the way that we curate this show because you have submitted so many questions, so many videos for us to respond to, and it literally has just taken our show for a whirlwind. So today is no different. We will be responding to a lot of the questions that you guys have already submitted in the past, all the way up until this morning. I think Anissa still has those questions coming in. If you want, you are more than welcome on the different platforms to submit your questions as well. But without further ado, we are going to jump right in, okay? And if you are excited to submit for the future, there is a link below where you can get that, your questions and your videos submitted. And there's also a really cool ebook that you could check out, but we'll get to that a little bit later. We got Anissa on the mic. What's up, baby girl?
What's up, Sarah?
How you feel?
I feel great.
I love feeling great.
Yes.
Feeling great is amazing.
Yes, I've cut my hair.
I know. And you dyed it.
Yeah.
It's giving
refreshing.
I was trying to think of a person, but the only person that I thought of, I didn't want to say their name because of the color. Do you know who I thought of?
Who?
Oh, if you don't know, then I don't want to say.
Who?
It looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, it really brings out your complexion. I love it.
Thank you.
Yes.
I feel like a new person.
It's giving. Thanks. And we got Kenny on the mic. What's up, Kenny?
Who?
Creative director, producer of the year. How you feel?
Feeling blessed, phenomenal, powerful, strong, happy.
Oh.
You know all the good vibes.
Oh.
We're live again. It's Givers. You know we love y'all.
All right.
So somebody said I submitted 2 questions. Hopefully it's answered. If it's not answered, ask again.
Why can't I see the doggone comments? I'm about to be mad.
And we are live. What's up, Steve? Yes. Well, hopefully it gets answered. Let's find out. Let's see. Here
Just
we
keep
go.
All right.
First question, Anissa, give me a good one.
Give it to him.
This looks like it could be good. Is social media negatively affecting personal interactions which leads to a bad dating pool?
Is social media leading to limited interactions, which lead to a...
Is social media negatively affecting personal interactions, which lead to a bad dating pool?
I think social media and the inflated sense of self is what's leading to a bad dating pool. I think the level of entitlement and the level of access that people think that they have to others is what's creating a bad dating pool. I think that until people deflate their egos, we will have a bad dating pool. But I also think that we don't necessarily, actually, we attract everything if you have an attractive essence and energy. Mm-hmm. But how they say we don't attract what we want, we attract who we are. I actually want to change that statement to we attract everything and we can choose who we are. So if you are putting yourself in a position to attract a higher value human, then do that and do all the things that encompasses that. You went somewhere.
I went somewhere?
Yeah, in your mind, I saw it. I need to be leaving me, y'all.
No, I was setting up the questions, y'all. I'm setting up.
That means she went somewhere.
No, I didn't. I'm
She
setting up
did.
to have good questions.
She did. Also,
I feel like social media. I feel like honestly, music.
it's the tie.
Huh?
Back to you.
No, I said I feel like music on top of social media is a big factor in social interactions. That's just from my personal experience. TV raises a lot of kids, and we are now the new adults. So I feel like what we gave ourselves to electronically growing up is what shaped us. So I've been watching Girlfriends a lot, and the whole independent woman narrative was picked up in so many of our shows that we watched and we didn't realize.
It's actually pretty crazy that after having like some questions done yesterday, I realized that TV really propagates a toxic love story.
Yeah, I promise you.
Can you even think of a non-toxic love story? Because honestly, I can't.
Not even just a toxic love story, but just the dynamic of the power dynamic between a man and a woman. Like there was a part.
It's toxic.
Yeah, there was an episode where like the guy William on Girlfriends was like, well, somebody has to have the last say so and put their foot down. And all the women like looked at him like he was insane. And I was like, oh my God.
That's where it comes from.
That's where it comes from because it's they subconsciously like implanted this stuff in our brain.
I know. And I mean, it goes back to why we play with dolls as girls and the girls have babies and all the things. It's pretty crazy when you think about the indoctrination and the agenda that happens on the planet. But I feel complete.
Ooh.
Okay.
This is a good question.
Elf wasn't toxic, someone said. My Wife and Kids. I never saw every episode. Thank you guys so much for
My Wife and Kids was not toxic.
I don't remember.
My Wife and Kids is a great show.
Yeah.
I can't. I didn't watch every episode.
That's crazy.
I don't watch a lot of TV, period. I'm much more of a movie girl than a TV girl, for the record.
Why can't
What about Martin? Did you watch Martin?
You know what, Kenny? I feel attacked right now. So look, okay, I have to say this. Where am I at? I'm here. I'm on 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the truth. I am Canadian. I lived in Canada until I was 20 years old. And where I'm from, Saskatchewan, which is the prairie, which had very limited Black people, especially not American Black people. Most of the Black people that were there are Africans, literally came from different countries inside of Africa, okay? So there wasn't a Martin influence. Now, did we have the Jamie Foxx show? Yes. Did we have the Wayans brothers? Yes. But we did not have Martin playing on the TV. We just didn't. So there's a big cultural difference that I'm really seeing. And it might make sense. It makes a little more sense to me why like people are like, because I don't have the same reference points. And that makes sense.
What about Bad Boys? You saw Bad Boys, right?
Yeah, I've seen all 4 Bad Boys movies.
Okay, so that made it. So Martin, shout out to you for making that one at least.
He said that made it.
I've seen all 4 of them. All 4 of them. Okay. Ooh, this is can you ask this question? Because you can't see the things you said.
I can't see the things.
Yeah. From Lazarus?
Yeah.
All right. So Lazarus56 on Instagram asks, do you think that long distance relationships breed loneliness, sexually frustrating, and therefore are not very successful, in parentheses, in most cases?
No, actually, I think that long distance relationships are amazing. And what I mean by that is when you have a long distance relationship, you're forced to get to know the person for who they actually are.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, having the temptation about sex. Now, if you're sexually frustrated, I can understand that. That's a very human thing. Sex is a great thing, especially when you're committed to someone. However, I do think that what better way to really get to know someone than those long phone calls or those text messages or when they do fly in for holidays or what it's going to be like when they're there. It makes you get to know the person and experience them as a person before you get into the whole sexual aspect of things. So I actually feel like long distance relationships can be really powerful if both people have emotional regulation, because I do think that what starts to happen inside of long distance is people feel like, oh, I miss them. And then they start projecting that in ways that come across as nagging or come across as irritated or come across as something that's not effective for the relationship. So if you can emotionally regulate, I think long distance is great.
I have a good question.
Yep.
Do many women regret missing out on a good man with their requirements.
Wait, they're saying like their requirements are too high, so they
miss out on a good guy
because their requirements are too high?
Correct.
No, I don't think so.
Expand.
I think that women, you can't regret something if it's below your standard.
I'm sorry.
Like that's like saying that, like, there are a lot of really great men out there. That doesn't mean they're my man. There are a lot of just awesome men. I've dated really awesome men, but they're not my man, and I don't have any regret for letting them go. It's like, thank you so much.
You never like dang, that could have probably worked. Never.
No,
not one time.
No,
in your big age.
In this big age, no. I feel very complete with the relationships that I've had. I feel like I had really beautiful experiences in most cases. And even when I didn't, I got really beautiful lessons that I definitely needed. And so it made me better. So every relationship that I've been in has made me better. And for that, I am grateful. And I don't regret any of it because they're still on my phone. They still
about to ask you, girl, do you regret any of it? Because
no, they still try to hit me up every 6 months to 2 years. Hey, girl, how you doing? Not responding. That's how.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. If I've dated you recently, absolutely not responding because I know what time it is. This is a temperature check and it's freezing. Okay. Below 0. It's not happening. So that, but if I dated you when I was in like high school or college, I'm pretty cool with a lot of my like.
Would you spin the block on any of your exes? Never.
No. Mm-mm.
Not even like high school?
I would be single.
Really?
Single before choosing any of them.
Dang.
Yeah.
Dang. I'm sorry if you're watching this. I'm sorry, guys.
No shade. I would rather be single though.
Nah, that was shade.
That's not shade.
The way you said that.
No, that's honest. I would rather be single than go back to any of my exes.
I feel you. I say stuff like I'd rather get hit by a freight train.
I'm not that. I would date them before I get hit by a freight train. Maybe some of them.
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
All right.
I'm glad you've never experienced any of my exes because they make you real.
Well, the last one I had was a doozy.
Oh yeah.
That one did a number.
What? Oh.
What are you about to say? Go ahead.
I was saying we got another question that came in.
Okay, come on.
Okay,
all right. So the givers asked, do you think an anxious attachment person and an avoided attachment person can work out in the long run?
Ooh.
Cannot. Ooh.
First of all, anxious people often attract avoidant people.
Oh, man.
It's literally a trauma bond that happens. And it is a cycle of turmoil if you get into that relationship. The only way for that to work is if one of them heals themselves into a secure relationship or a secure attachment style. Because anxious is never going to feel like they're enough, and avoidant is never going to give the reassurance that the anxious would need. And so for that, it's always going to be this downturn. But once you become a secure attachment style and you understand that you have an anxious partnership, it's like, oh, okay, I can give you the reassurance that you need. Because we've said it before, needy people are needy because their needs are not being met, right? And on the flip side, a secure person can allow an avoidant to step away without feeling like, well, what's wrong with me? Am I not enough? Do they not love me? Those questions don't even come up, right? So I think that it's really important to just be mindful of that. And Anissa, I see you.
I was texting her. I swear, I cannot wait to see Sarah as a mom.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because what?
Okay, what is the question from Real Dope Daddy?
What?
What? I want to know. I can't, my eyes, I try not to look at my phone.
I don't know. I can't see the questions. I don't know what's going on.
Go ahead, Kitty.
Hold on. Let's see what we got here. From Real Dope Daddy.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's the name for me.
The Real Dope Daddy. Let's see.
It's all these comments. Kenny sees all platforms at once.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm seeing all at once.
Do you want me to just look and read it?
Yeah, check that one because
I can't
my
even
Instagram
look at it
just
on my phone. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah, my Instagram.
Okay, the question is, once they see a man, or maybe it's a statement, once
I
they
think
see
that
a
was a
man
statement,
doing
yeah.
his big one with someone else, she's just much more grounded than the average woman. Oh, most women don't have the understanding of self. Oh, that she does. I received that. Thank you. That was real dope. I'm not gonna call you daddy though.
I
That
think
was real
someone's
dope.
asking a question from Facebook
Okay.
about one of the skits you got.
Oh, what's the question?
So we just released a skit today, right? Shout out to Sarah, killing it, right? We got the Country Wayne skits. But someone asked, we all are here. We want to know why Cam did what he did.
Oh, you're gonna have to stay tuned for that one. I
you
can't
guys
give the
haven't-
juice.
If you guys haven't tuned in to the Country Wayne skits featuring the Miss Serafano, you need to today. Catch up. It's a long, great skit.
It's a lot.
I was trying to explain it to my friend yesterday, and I was like, damn, this has so many twists and turns and bends, and just
It's a lot.
it's a lot.
Okay.
I actually have another one for you real quick.
Okay.
Because it goes back to the anxious attachment avoidant one.
Okay.
So Luxury Lonnie asks, what if the anxious turns their attachment style into a secure attachment style? Could that be helpful to an avoidant attachment style?
Absolutely, because the thing about an avoidant, and it's actually really sad, an avoidant is avoidant because they didn't receive love as a child, right? And so they built up this thing where they keep people away from them because it's safer for them to just have them than to allow themselves to rely on another person. A lot of men and a lot of high value, well, let's not say high value, a lot of high earning masculine men are avoidant attachment styles, meaning they don't need to have you around all the time, meaning they don't, they try to keep you at an arm's distance. Like, I love you and I want to be with you, but I kind of don't really want to. And so for that reason, a secure attachment style doesn't take that personal. A secure attachment style is like, oh, you need space? Go ahead and take your space. That's fine. It's not like we're breaking up. You want to go away for half a day? I'll see you tonight. Okay, great. Enjoy that. The thing about it is, after reading on attachment styles, they say that it can take up to 4 years for you to heal from your attachment style, either the anxious or the avoidant. So it's a very intentional growth process, getting back to baseline. It's trauma. It's a lot of trauma.
I literally struggle with both anxious and avoidant, because
that's only 4% of the population has both of those.
Yeah, because
Yikes.
like I normally deal with like the rejection of like not feeling good enough in a lot of cases. Like, that's how like the enemy plays with my mind. He always figures out a way to make me feel like what I'm doing is never enough. But in that same breath, like, if somebody wants to help me, or like I would have to be drowning up to my nose before I'm asking for help, or before I allow somebody to get so close to me where, like, when I feel like it's too much, I draw back. I'll be like, bro, this is too much. I didn't ask for this. I'm good. I got it. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to be just as hyper vigilant as I was wanting and needing nurturing all at the same time. So I had to learn how to provide for myself while also walking around yearning for affection and love, because I never felt good enough. Like, that was the dynamic between my mom and I. So it was just yeah. So like we just had a little candid behind the scenes question, and I see that a lot in that situation where I'm like, bro, like I will drop you like a bad habit so fast. Like, or like it, but it can be anybody.
I honestly feel like if you know that you have heavy trauma and healing that's necessary, you shouldn't be dating, period. Because ultimately what you're actually doing is you're bringing in a person for right now that you literally will not want or like in the future. I'm telling you, it's just the reality of the situation. The reality is we are not attracted to the same person when we're down as when we're up. So if they get you while you're down, that's who you could get on that frequency. But once you change your frequency, it's like nails on a chalkboard. So it's not attractive anymore. So if you know that you have healing and you need to address it and you've got to deal with your trauma, I personally don't believe people should be dating inside of that, because you're not going to choose powerfully. You're going to choose desperately.
I can agree. I can agree. It's been a tug and war between my mental and my emotion for the longest.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it. And I agree. Anywho, let's go. Next question. Is there any questions in the chat, Kenny?
Yep. So I got another one. Let's see right here. So from the givers, someone asked, I like it being another question, but what do you think about dressing sexy or being sexy at the workplace around men?
I love a sexy number. But what is
Girl,
sexy?
because Friday?
Wait,
no, I'm
what I
sorry.
have
That
on
was Saturday.
What day was that?
Mike's show.
Oh.
Girl. I had to give you a 2-syllable damn, okay? Because you, girl. You saw how I looked at you. I was like, damn. I had to give you a spin because
okay,
what?
This is the thing. I love a sexy number.
Girl.
But I do feel
you?
like
Girl.
I feel like there's a way to do sexy. I think that you've got to be mindful of what's showing.
Not
right?
scantily clad.
Not scantily clad, not raunchy, which means everything can't show at once. And I feel it's the same way with church, right? Like
what?
Because people
wait,
be like,
you say, wait.
I feel like it's the same with church.
What are
people
you
like,
saying?
Don't dress sexy to church. Is it sexy or are my clothes just fitted? Now, there's a difference between my clothes being fitted and you seeing every crevice on my body. Now, I'm not going to wear that.
Now, here's the thing, though. Like, there's certain, because there's been times where I've seen you wear certain things. I'll be like, Sarah. You be like, what? When we shoot the skits, girl, and I'll be like, Sarah,
it's too sexy?
No, not too sexy. It's just like you can't help your parts. I'm trying to be incognito about it. And
you can't help how you're built. And then you know what else? I also feel like you have to be mindful of that too, because one thing for me, and not to pull attention, but I'm going to pull attention. I'm going to move my hair really fast so I can like make it less attentive. But I say this to say that I am a busty woman. And so inside of being a busty woman, if I wear a plunging neckline, it's a lot sexier.
Explain what that means. I don't know what you're talking
Plunging neckline is a neckline that dives, it plunges low on your body. It could be down to your belly button. It could be below your your ribs, whatever it is. And so if I wear something that is plunging in my neckline, automatically it's sexier because of how I'm built. What's also really crazy is if I was to wear the same outfit, let's say a super fitted jacket, and a pair of fitted pants and a sexy little, sweet, what is it called? Sweetheart top shirt that's not revealing, but it is sexy because of how you're built. So we also have to be able to dress for our body type. Mm-hmm. We shouldn't be showing everything at work. Pardon me. We shouldn't be showing everything at church. We shouldn't be showing everything at the grocery store. Doggone it. But I do think there's a time to do sexy. I don't think there's anything wrong with sexy. I think it's about I do think that you are disqualifying yourself from a high value, high earning masculine man when you're scantily clad.
What is the difference between what is scantily clad in your opinion? Like, what does that look like in the form of clothes?
It looks like everything is out. It looks like your tatas are out, your midriff is out, your booty is out. It's out, all of it at the same time. Like, I literally know what you look like. My mom is calling. I literally know what you look like
without your clothes.
Without your clothes on, because realistically speaking, you didn't hide anything. There's nothing exclusive. There's nothing cute. There's nothing about that that's attractive. Well, actually, it's very attractive for sex. It's not attractive to wife.
I don't know.
What do you not know?
Because
most baddies are single.
Okay. But there are a few that have been wifed.
Who?
People will say Gucci Man's wife is a little scantily clad.
I don't think she's scantily clad.
What? That's crazy.
I don't. I think she wears bodysuits. She wears fitted clothing from what I've seen. Sometimes she might let her tatas out. Okay. I cannot think of one thing that she's worn where it's like everything is out at once.
Oh, well, okay.
Never seen that.
Okay. Is there any more questions from the givers or should I go do the things?
Oh yeah, we got more.
Okay.
Let's see. So this is from William Sloss Jr. from Facebook. Why is the disconnect between territorial tendencies versus insecurity so big
Ooh.
when it comes to discussion of POV men to women? So I can ask that again if you need me to.
Wait, what? Say that?
Why? What's the differentiation between being territorial and being insecure for a man from the point of view from a woman?
Yep.
Okay, so that's actually a really powerful question.
And it was men to women, actually.
Yeah, because a lot of the times what I think is happening is women are making up these things saying, oh, he's insecure, he's controlling. No, Trick, you're putting your man in danger by dressing the way that you dress. It's not territorial for a man to have an expectation for you not to be out in the club with your single girlfriends shaking your booty and twerking in front of a bunch of men at the club. I think that makes, you shouldn't want, why would you even want to do that, right? I don't think that a woman should be out here scantily clad and then have the nerve to say insecure. No, the problem is if you're really a beautiful, high value, feminine woman, you don't have to show anything and you could still pull everything. Let me be crystal clear. And I think that that's something, I'm not saying you have to dress like a nun. Hell, I don't dress like a nun. There are some times where I let the girls out. There are some times where sexy is fine. And at the same time, I feel just as beautiful in a turtleneck and a cutesy demure dress, right? So the question is that inside of being the point of view from a man to a woman and a woman to a man, women need to start understanding that how they dress and how they act in public is how they will be addressed, right? And so what that means is if you're out here twerking at the club, but you think you're in a relationship, that's the ultimate disrespect to the man. I don't think that's insecure of the man to tell her that she feels away. I don't think that it's rude or controlling of a man to want his woman to dress like a woman and not a girl that's screaming for attention, because ultimately why and this is another thing, and I have to say this, and maybe this is terrible to say, but it's just the truth. The truth is, when you're in a relationship with a high value, high earning, masculine man, being sexy is fine, but even sexy gets refined a little bit more. Does that make sense? Because you're putting that man in danger. The more that you show, because now what happens if a man comes to you and he's like, hey, baby, what's up? Now you're putting him in the position where he's got to defend you. Why would now this man could catch life or a case or die because you wanted to show up looking like a hoochie mama at the club? Like, that's crazy to me. Why would you even want to put that man into that predicament? So from my point of view, I think that women need to respect their men. I think that they should be mindful of how they dress. I think they should be mindful of how they act in public, because it's all a reflection of their man. And for the men, also, let me say this, and Kenny, let me know what you think. I think that men really need to be that guy. There's nothing more attractive than a man that's not hollering at everything in the club when he's in a relationship. Like, stop giving these girls the time of day and power inside of your relationship. Even like as a single man, when I watch a single man work the room, like, I mean, I kind of get it, but you talking to everybody?
That's kind of gross. Yeah.
Ew. That's not attractive to me.
I have a question for you. This is unrelated to the givers. Jack Daniels?
The drink?
No.
Oh.
Somebody text me about a podcast.
Oh, great.
Today.
Let's talk about it later.
Yeah.
Here right now?
Right now.
Okay, great. So, Kenny, we're going to keep reading questions. He's at 12. Can you text Aaron? Great. Great. Yes.
All right.
This is going to be great. Kenny, we're going to keep it up with the questions.
All right, perfect. Let's see. So we got another question. Has the unrealistic expectations of social media caused a decline in the dating space?
Say it again, because my brain squirreled.
I got you, squirrel. All right. So has the unrealistic expectations of social media caused a decline in the dating space?
Yes.
Of course.
But I think it's because of the inflated sense of self. I think that it's because people are out here really thinking that they bring something to the table when they don't. People thinking that they bring value, but they think what value is how they look, and that's just not the truth. There's no character, there's no connectivity, there's nothing to really substantiate other than a pretty face. And although a pretty face will get you to the door, it is your character that will keep you in the house. But on social media, because it's your highlight reel, it's the glimpses of what looks the best, and you're showing what's the best, you can get away with some stuff, you know? What do you think?
Yeah, I think social media killed it for a lot of people.
Go ahead.
Completely. Anisha, you about to say something too?
No, I was about to I feel like we gotta take a second. Aaron, 1:30.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's Givers on Live. This is what live production does.
Yeah.
So we got to shake and move. But to go back to that, yeah, social media, you know, because when you see so many people online so happy, quote unquote, and then you're looking at your own personal life and you're like, damn, we ain't going on vacation yet. We're not even taking pictures together and doing this whole pumpkin patch, apple picking, strawberry picking. Like, you're not showing nothing. I don't see that you really care about me. So most people are doing a lot of things offline. Don't worry about what they're doing online. Worry about your offline life.
Right.
Like, when it comes to these celebrities, you're already in a different bracket than each other. So
Yeah.
you're probably not able to do the same things.
Yeah.
Right?
My thing with people that's trying to keep up with the Jones, I never understood people who like tried to keep up or try to keep up with a certain image or try to emulate what they see in like superstars. Like, I'm so under a rock with certain things because I don't believe, like, statistics, like, everybody can't live that lifestyle.
You know, though, I've definitely tried to keep up with the Joneses. Like, I'm gonna just keep it 1,000. In my past, first of all, I come from network marketing, which is the world of let me show you what I have, so you want to be interested in my business. Let me show you how successful I am, so you know that you can be successful too. So even having that mindset of let me show you, let me show you, let me show you. After a while, when you're in a world of people that are also successful, well, they have this kind of car. Should I get that kind of car? Well, they have this kind of this. Should I do that? Well, that relationship looks amazing. Should I be in that kind of relationship? It's normal to compare, but it's different when you have jealousy or envy. So for me, I feel like comparison can be the thief of all joy, or it can be a superpower. Like, oh, you did 100,000 in your business this week. Please believe I'm gonna do 110.
I think that's more competition than comparison, though.
No, it's not. I mean, it could be, or it could be both at the same time. I have to compare in order to be in competition. How do you compete when you don't even know what the standard or the bar is, right? So I have to compare it first, get the facts, and then go into it. But I do think that every adult, for the most part, probably does experience the keeping up with the Joneses aspect of things. And then you got to get out of it. Like my mom said on the podcast, by 22, if you had the most trash parents on the planet, if you just had the most traumatic experiences in your life, if you just, everything went wrong for you, if that was your life, by the age 22, it is your responsibility to do the work to fix it. Doesn't matter where you come from, how you come from, what you come from, if you come from, no matter the come from, it is your opportunity to figure your own life out. Stop being a victim and a survivor and start being a thriver. You know?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying.
Do we have any more questions, or do you want me to pull from the questions?
Still got more questions. I ain't gonna lie. The givers are literally giving today, so I appreciate it. So we got another one. I think this one's gonna be kind of interesting topic. Why do single mothers let their son's hair get so long? Isn't that feminizing young men?
Can I answer this because I am a single mother of a son?
Do it.
It just depends on your level of perception. Because back in ancient history, like in China, like Chinese and Japanese culture, long hair represented royalty. So a lot of times, that's where the want comes from. I know a lot of times, like my son had locks at one point, and for me in my house, long hair means strength. So it's just, but he didn't have long hair when he was a small child, though. It was a choice that he made when he was a lot older. I feel like it has to be a deliberate intention behind the feminizing, because I do believe that a lot of women do try to feminize their sons. I don't believe like little boys should have their ears pierced. I don't believe that little boys should be able to dress in girls' clothing. I don't believe that I feel like little boys should be little boys. And when you start doing all of that extra, is when it becomes a problem. Like if the boy has naturally like curly, like long hair, like say if he had like a hair braid like Athena's, I don't think it's something wrong with him having his hair grown out, because that's just, especially if he's like Dominican or Puerto Rican or Jamaican, like if it's a part of his heritage and his culture, or he could be what is the rock, what is his culture?
Polynesian. And
if he was Polynesian and stuff like that, like those people like take pride in like their hair. So it just depends on the reasoning behind it. But a lot of times, a lot of women in general use their sons to take place of their son's father. And that's a whole nother topic that needs to be discussed, because that's wrong. I got my son. I don't need you. My son, I'm the only thing my son need. Like that happens a lot. It happens a lot. And it is so wrong. They be bitter, and then they put the son in place of a lover. It's so weird.
Well, I don't think that hair. I don't think that hair really. I don't know the answer, because I don't think it matters, to be honest. I feel like, if you think about Samson in the Bible, he had long hair and royalty and all the things. Ultimately, I think that you get to decide, and it's a part of the identity that your child will have. I mean, my 5-year-old nephew has dreads that are long, and then he wanted to dye the front ones red and blonde, and now he has 4 or 5 red and blonde dreads at the front.
Well,
I feel like
blonde, yeah.
I mean, it's all an expression, right? I do think that things start to change when you identify as your hair. Obviously, I don't. Mine changes every week. But
what do you mean by identify as your hair?
Because a lot of people, it's like the one thing that they have, like what makes you beautiful, what makes you strong, what makes you manly. Like when you identify with your hair, oh, I'm the girl. Like even me, when I cut my hair, my natural hair, when I cut my hair, I was like, oh my God, I'm a baldy. I've always identified as a woman that has pretty long hair.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And if I've always identified that, the second that I cut my hair, mind you, the bob is cute. I do love it's cute. However, that was tough. It was giving baldy. And now I'm like, okay, well, it's giving boss. It's giving sophisticated. I just had to give it a different meaning and identify with something differently. So I don't think that it's necessarily as much about it being feminine as it is what is the identity that your child wants to have, and give them the choice. The question is, can they cut their hair if they want to cut their hair, or are you more impressing their hair on them?
And also, are you not cutting that baby's hair because you don't want him to go through the pains of sitting in a barber chair? Stop being lazy and make that little boy sit behind a barber chair.
I do. Let me tell you. Look, I get my hair. Shout out. Which camera am I on? Right here. Shari, shout out to you. That is my girl. She does my hair. She takes care of my natural hair, and then we do the hair by the Virgin Hair Fantasy. Shout out to you, Jane. And what I love about Shari is, wait, what did you just say?
A lot of times.
Got it.
Yeah.
There's nothing like when you get your hair done. Okay. I be feeling like, say something to me. Oh, wait, you can't because my hair is done. Right. And I feel like with boys, girls, whoever, when you feel good about yourself, it's a thing. Mm-hmm. It's a thing. So just throwing that out there. Okay.
Next question, Kenny. I feel like they asking questions. I hate that I can't see them. It's pissing me off.
They definitely asking questions. So this one's going to be a little different angle, right?
Yeah.
We just talked about hair. But someone asked, why are women super freaky while you're dating, and then once you marry them, they aren't as vigorous in that department?
Folks get comfortable.
Not even that.
Why don't men?
I experienced this.
Why don't men still date the woman the same after they get married? It's a combination. I honestly think that inside of relationships, people get comfortable. Okay, you could say what you have to say because you're just itching, and then I'll finish what I'm saying after. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Just go fast. Because
in my marriage, the reason why I stopped wanting to have sex with my husband is because I was dealing with abuse. There was a lot of times when people get married, they see the the red flags, right? But they ignore them. They ignore the red flags because they have a lot of green flags. And they're like, oh, I love this person. We can work it out. It'll get better. Not realizing that marriage magnifies the problems that you have before you get married. So, and then God forbid if the sex is good. So you have all these red flags, and then the sex makes the red flags look like yellow flags, or maybe an orange yellowish color, right? And then you get married, and then you end up hating this person for these same reasons that you thought weren't that bad or that you can mull over, and they become magnified, and you no longer have the desire to want your spouse to touch you because they become magnified by like times 10, and it's like don't touch me.
No, I get that. What was the question again? I forgot.
Yeah, so the question is, why are women super freaky while you're dating, and then when you're married, they're not?
You know what else I think? I think like myself and kind of what you were kind of just describing, Anissa, that most women, sex is connected to trust in a lot of different ways. And I do feel like sometimes in a marriage, men through a lack in their leadership sometimes, or men inside of, it's like you start to erode trust, you erode respect. And now a woman isn't as physically attracted to you. A lot of times, even inside of the dating phase, men present themselves as masculine, but they're much higher on the feminine spectrum than they've showed initially. And so the polarization isn't there. If you have a feminine woman or a man or whatever, a feminine energy wants a masculine energy. That's what it means when we say opposites attract. It's not talking about personality traits. It's talking about energy. So if you present yourself as masculine, but as you get comfortable, you start to fall back more into your feminine, or vice versa. If she presents herself as feminine, but over time she starts to fall back into her masculine, or vice versa, whatever that looks like, there's no polarization. So now there's no desire to be sexual, because sex is a desire. It's not an obligation. It's not something I have to do. It's something I get to do with my partner when I'm attracted to you, right? And so I feel like oftentimes in marriage, the polarization starts to get a little bit off. The trust and the respect might get a little bit eroded. But I think that's why it's really important to be intentional about how you're still dating your husband or wife. Like, still go on dates, still get sexy, get the lingerie, pull out the negligees, make the dinner and the aprons. Like literally all of those different things still matter when you're married.
Yeah, I agree. However, I also want to say, Negro, sir, ma'am, don't mull over red flags. Like, true, like I can easily use sex as a reason to not address the issues, because I feel like
but that's a whole different subject. If you're using sex to mull over the reason, that's a whole different level.
That's what a lot of people do. A lot of people settle and they get married with somebody that they're settling for, and then they because they get married for the happenstance of marriage within itself, not realizing that marriage is real work out here.
Well, people get married because they're told to get married. They don't get married because they powerfully choose that person. And when they get to know that person, they don't even really like that person. So now I don't trust you, I don't like you, and I don't respect you. Why would I want to have sex with you? And it goes both ways. But a man is still a man. A man still has urges to have sex, whether he likes you or not. That's why he'll sleep with a prostitute.
That's nasty.
Is it? Or is it just real life? And it's very human, and it happens every single day. So I'm just saying, ultimately we've got to be realistic inside of vetting the person that you're dating, making sure that you're mindful of who it is that you're walking down the aisle to meet at the end, so that you can powerfully choose, so that if sex comes up and it does start to diminish over the time, a simple conversation can happen. Baby, what's up? What can we do? How do we fix this? Do we need to go to a class? Do we need to take a trip? Do we need to touch toes at night when we're arguing? Whatever. Toes. That's what Dr. Gottman says. That would solve the majority of most arguments. Yes. No matter how mad you are, you should go to sleep. Your toes at least need to touch.
That's crazy.
Big toe to big toe.
That's crazy.
I don't know.
Toe touch is crazy. Toe touch is insane.
I mean, sometimes toe touching is hard. To be honest, sometimes, like I have been in a relationship where I've literally in my mind, like this is the thing for me, when I start to get really upset, and I'm learning this about myself because I feel like this is new. I haven't had a lot of people really try me before, but It's 2024 and folks live on Audacity Lane. Okay. And so inside of that, my neck starts to physically get hot. When my neck gets hot, this is where I, in my brain, start talking to myself. Time to regulate, time to bring it down, time to check yourself, Sarah, before you wreck yourself. Because I'm literally, the devil is not whispering into my ear. The devil is screaming into my ear, right? So I would just say in those moments and in those times, it's really important for us to be able to regulate back to baseline. It's really important for us to be able to have those conversations with ourselves, because then I could touch your toe. But if the devil is screaming in my ear, punch that man in the face. Just punch him. Just punch him and act like you sleep. Throw water in his face. Like literally, if those are the things that are coming up, cuss him out. Call him the M word. Call him if those things are happening, I was like, oh, I'm cussing you out so bad right now in my mind. If that's what's happening in my brain, and it's like, I still got to touch your toe.
Ew.
But what happens when I touch your toe is it dismantles me. It's like, well, I can't be that mad and touch your toe. I gotta chill out just a little bit,
Just a tad.
just a tittle, you know, just
Like,
a
chill out.
tittle. Yeah. So now it's like big toe. Boop. I still love you. I just don't like you right now. And then the devil starts to diminish and God starts to creep back in. You're just upset right now. You're angry and that's okay. You feel how you feel. You can figure it out later. Is it a good time right now? Don't you raise your blood pressure. Girl, you gonna get wrinkles. What is this all about?
Not wrinkles.
You know, I'm just saying all of these things start to happen, but we have to be able to have those conversations with ourselves.
So I believe both of those things are true. Like your perspective and my perspective. Because I feel like a lot of people want to get married just to say that they're married. A lot of people get married, yeah, and they don't understand what they're doing, and they think like, oh, because like the sex is good and they are compatible, that will last, that'll make them last, and it's just not the case. So, but you're right though, because I promise you, I ain't touching toes with nobody that I'm pissed off at.
No, well, then that's trauma, and you gotta grow.
What?
Because you probably gonna break up in the future. That's what that means. If you can't dismantle your own anger and upset, who can? That man can't. So now you want him to battle through your BS and your feelings in order to just have a conversation where y'all could talk it out effectively.
We could talk it out. I just don't want to touch your toe.
Touch his toe.
I don't.
Touch his hip, hip
Touch
to
those
hip.
toes.
Put the finger on his, like literally, I think about like in a super healthy relationship that I had when we were upset with each other. I sleep on my back, but when I'm in a relationship, I turn into a side sleeper, which is really weird. But when I'm by myself, it's coffin season, right? I am a vampire. So anyway, one of the things that we would do when we were upset is he or I would fall asleep. I'd sleep on my back because I'm like, I really hate this man right now, but I don't want to hate this man. And he was actually a side sleeper. So if he turned his back away, don't ever turn your back on your partner. If it's two backs to each other, you are literally creating space between yourself, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically.
You didn't even want him to touch you.
No, this is the thing. Even though his back was turned to me, you're not looking. Even though his back was turned to me, he would do this with his hand. He would reach over and put my hand on his side, on the top of his hip. So my hand would be on the top of his hip, and I'm like, I hate you, but I love you so much. Thank you for holding me. You know what I mean? But I'm mad. He's mad too. So his back is turned, but there's still connection. If you still have connection, there's still hope. If you dead connection, you're kind of deading hope. I'm just saying.
Fine. I'll go to therapy. Whatever.
Yo, Sarah's speaking facts though. Yo, if you don't touch toes, you're weird.
Yes.
And then even another one I'll do too. It was just mad funny with my lady, and she loves it and hates it, but I'll grab her pinky and be like, let's hold pinkies.
Ah, yes.
Don't gotta hold hands. Let's hold pinkies.
We
then.
gotta hold pinkies.
Like something. Like it's
connectedness.
just something about a human touching another human. You're gonna feel a different energy. I think people are missing that part out. Like if you're angry and upset and you haven't touched each other once in that moment, you will feel the difference of anger in your body versus one hug.
Yes.
One looking in the eyes and not seeing anger and seeing a little sparkle of happiness, maybe seeing a dimple pierce through. Like those are the things that let you know, okay,
Yes.
And there's some hope we can work on this.
Yes.
But like Sarah said, if there's that space, you have backs turned to each other, might as well keep going. Keep going.
You let it go.
Now you're gonna be in a separate room, then your separate beds.
Now you
then
leaving
your
the
separate
house.
Now you're not telling each other when you're leaving and when I'm coming home.
Can I tell
How
you?
do we
dinner
snowball
separately.
into this?
But
How
this
do
is
we
the truth. But can I just say, for me, and I believe myself to be a high value woman.
As you should.
I think we all should.
You dig?
You feel me? Or you a man, we women. But this is what I think. If you and I get into a heated argument
Mhm.
and you leave this house, what you just told me is you want to be single.
I don't agree.
You want to be single.
I
You
don't
want to,
agree.
you need to take some time off. You need to go to that side of the house. You need to whatever. But for you to leave,
I don't agree.
I guess unless you have to go to work.
Nah,
I'm sorry. You leave this house in an argument.
Because I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna have to play devil's
Let's
advocate
go.
on this
Come on.
because here's the thing, and
Yep.
I need you to tell me what the givers are saying, and I need y'all to come to my side because Sarah, she's strong-willed, y'all. Here's the
Period.
thing. It just depends on the temperature of the
No.
conversation. No, you got to hear me out, Sarah.
I'm trying.
Because if the only thing I want to do is get away from you, like I don't even want to feel your presence around me.
Yeah.
Not saying that I don't look like because I have had heated debacles, okay?
Mhm.
And there's been debacles where all I wanted to do was hear my own thoughts and know that I am by myself.
Yeah.
I would go sit in my car.
Mhm.
I will go drive to the park. I will go get lunch. Because here's the thing. Just because I walk away, I'm not walking away from you. I'm a person that needs their space. Like if I need to cool down and cool off,
Mhm.
like, hey, I love you, but I need a second. This is too much. I will even announce, like, hey, this is too much for
I
me
hope
in
you're
this.
ready for this response.
Oh my God. This is too much for me in this moment. I'm about to go get me some lunch. I just need to cool my head. And that doesn't give me permission to go off and go cheat. I am literally just going to be by myself where I can be with my own thoughts. But one thing I will not do is go to bed on my anger. I will never go to bed on my anger ever. But if I need to get the away from you, I will.
You heard that time stamp for the
I'm
beat.
sorry.
Are you ready for this?
Yes, Sarah.
That is your avoidant attachment style.
Get out of
speaking.
here. Are you serious?
Absolutely, I'm serious.
playing with
Because
me.
as a secure person that is not traumatized and needs to run away from a problem, you're
I'm
able
not
to
running
confront
away.
it head on. Now, this is what I'm saying. There are cool down periods that might be necessary. If you need to go to the other side of the house, if you want to go, you know what? I just need to not think about anything. I need to go journal. I need to go drink some tea. Do it on your side of the house. Do it over there.
What if we don't have a other side of the house, Sarah? What if we live in a small apartment?
I can't relate.
Then what the hell? That's what I mean.
What I'm saying to you is,
Like, what?
if you walk out that door, so this is what I'm saying, because we're talking about high value, high earning masculine, high value feminine. If you desire to be with a high value human, you don't get to leave them hanging, and especially not with no conversation. And I also feel like the conversation needs to be, you know what? I'm really frustrated right now, and I really want to be able to have this conversation, but I am not in a space where I can say it without hurting feelings. Can we please resume in 20 minutes? That's what Dr. Gottman says to do. We need to resume in 20 to 30 minutes. If it's longer than 30 minutes, you psychologically are actually abusing your partner. Fun fact of the day. Learn that from the Gottman theory. If you are taking long periods of time away from your partner, it's a level of emotional abuse.
Shut up.
Now what you're doing is you're leaving them to deal with the shambles that you just created because you're not being mature enough to just have a hard conversation or say, hey, let's put a pin in this hard conversation to when we actually get to have the conversation.
That's what I'm saying.
and then
Let's
go
put a
from
pin
there.
on it.
No,
Let's put a pin in
no,
it.
you don't get to leave the house.
That's crazy.
You don't get to leave the house. You got to
That's
go to work.
insane.
Okay, we could talk about it later. We got to put in it. Fine, we could talk about it
Are
later.
you telling me
But
I'm
there is-
traumatized?
Yeah, you got trauma. But that's why, referring to what
them
we talked
comments saying,
about
Kenny?
with the Patreon, what the comments, what are they saying?
I need to know what the comments say. I can't
Someone
see.
said literally, they're like, right before Sarah said it, they're like, I bet she's going to say it's unresolved trauma. And they even betted $5 on it.
Oh!
And it said, boom,
Hold up.
Sarah said it.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I believe it's Maurice Jones. He's been in tune in, so we appreciate you, Maurice Jones. So that right there, it's just, you got to understand why you react a certain way to certain scenarios.
Yeah, and this is another thing, guys. If you feel like you have to go away to get out, and I'm saying leave for a long period of time, you've got a lot of work to do on yourself.
Yeah, you can't dip out. You gotta, if anything, you can take a little moment like, hey, look, I know we're kind of getting loud with each other.
Yeah.
Let's take a break and breathe and maybe reconnect in like 5 minutes. Like, let's make this happen. Because you don't want to walk away and leave the person hanging like you don't care at all. That's what it's going to come across as. Now, I get the breathing space and needing time to think and this and that, but if you're doing that because you think you're going to attack the person verbally, physically, emotionally,
you got trauma.
You got something to work on.
Yep.
No, so here's the thing. Let's be clear, right? This is things that I experienced. I am coming from a place of rehashing the things I experienced while I was married. Mm-hmm. So hold up. I have not been in a authentic relationship where I've been presented the opportunity to have conversations like that, where I've had to have a confrontational conversation. I either had to stay and deal with it or leave. But I will agree with you. Sarah gets on my nerves. I swear, bro. Sarah gets on my last nerve sometimes, and she knows it. I will agree with you only because I know where I am and you know where I am currently in my life. Mm-hmm. And we both know that I need therapy. So that a lot of that, I feel like because of what I went through, I don't have the capacity to deal with confrontational conversations like that. And I will be like, you know what? I'm about to leave before I lose my marbles. See how I'm trying to look out for you, Kenny? I'm going to lose my mind.
And I feel like if you walk out the door on me, what you just told me is you want to be single.
That's
but
crazy.
I also think that these are conversations that you need to have before you get married, before you even get into a relationship. How do you deal with conflict? That is a conversation that I have with someone that I'm interested in, because I make it very clear. I'm not the makeup to breakup girl. If you ever fix your mouth to say I'm done with what?
You cut?
You're done. You're done with this argument. You're done with how you feel. You're done with your job. Oh, you're done with me? You'll never see me again. There's no conversation to be had, because what you're not going to do is start to create some kind of abandonment issue inside of me because you want to emotionally abuse and check out when it's convenient for you. I'm not doing that for me. So I think that people should not make up to break up. If you don't, that shouldn't even be on the table, because why would you create that psychological abuse for your partner? Why would you create that abuse or that abandonment issue for your partner? I'm not doing that. Don't fix your mouth to say I'm done until I'm done. You're angry right now. You don't get to quit on me because you're angry. Go be angry then. You want to be upset. You want to raise your voice. This is another thing too, because this comes back to tone and energy with women and feminine women. I think for me, one of the things that I had to learn, because I'm a very passionate person.
Yeah.
I'm very passionate. And sometimes passion, if you don't know me, can come across as aggression. And so that's another conversation that I have with the people that I'm dating. When I get loud, I'm not getting loud to yell at you. Or if I get loud.
You get loud?
What? Shut up. I can get loud. If I get loud, I can get loud. But if I don't, it's like, okay, the whole point is these conversations have to happen at the beginning of your relationship. There needs to be an understanding. So when it happens, it's like, oh, this is that thing that they were talking about. And if you know me and you know my come from, I might get passionate. I've done podcasts where I found myself like, oh, I'm sitting up. I'm on the defense right now. And then it's like, ooh, okay, let's bring it back down, But true masculinity is grounded and so certain that if they notice that I'm like this, they'll be like, okay, baby, I hear what you're saying. And immediately it's going to make me say, oh, okay, where are we going from here? Because a man that loves you wants to solve a problem. A masculine man that loves you wants to solve a problem. Sorry, I messed up the cameras.
Yes.
Yep.
So I think we're complete for this episode.
No, whoa, hold up. Episode? Oh, snap, dang.
It's been an hour.
Okay, well.
Yeah, you just used to just going and going and going. Had a very interesting experience yesterday. I think it's just in you. I think it hasn't.
One day they'll find out.
Yeah.
It's coming soon. Okay. Well, oh my gosh, that this brings us to an end of this episode. Guys, if you have not yet, please hit that little button below, get subscribed, and hit that little bell so you get a notification with each new piece of content. We have more live shows coming for you today. Let us know in the comment section right now. Say yes if you want us to go live on our solo episodes later today. We will be doing 2 more episodes, I believe. And yes, Anissa, major shout out to you for the questions. Sarah? Thank you, girl. How you feel? Shot by Anissa.
I feel great. I'm mad I couldn't see these comments. I'm gonna try to figure that out.
It's okay. Good. It's fine. It's fine. And Kenny, who is Kenny V? What's up? Creative director, producer of the year.
Who? Make sure givers subscribe, like, comment, share. Last time I saw you share with a dog, neighbor, mom, dad, cat, grandma, whoever. This time, go to the supermarket, go to Target, and be like, yo, you heard of this giving? Because it's given. So make sure to let them know about it.
Then take a picture and send it to us and we'll post it.
There we go.
Tag us and we'll repost it in our stories. That would be so cool.
I love that.
I see some yeses happening in the chat. And guys, if no one has told you today, please know that you are freaking phenomenal. Bomb.com. Nothing can stop you but you. But you got to do something about it. I love you guys. Bye.
Bye.